All right, everyone. So you guys are about to hear a story about pure corruption involving LASD, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, including Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS. So this story is going to be about a young man named Gabriel, and I'm out here with his mother right now. And the end result of his story is right here, next to where he's buried. So sit back and pay attention. It's going to be a lot to take in. I believe we can't get everything on this one video, but there's going to be more videos to come. Here we go.
My name's Mari. I'm Gabriel's mom. And this was like a series of events that led, to my baby's, journey in life that, ended up in him being murdered. So on August 2nd, 2020, I was getting gas at the Chevron on 5th Street and Palmdale Boulevard. And I was giving somebody a ride somewhere. And that whole day is like, that day from when I pulled to pick them up was just, it's a weird how the whole thing played out. And I'm getting gas, I'm facing south, and the sheriff from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department in Palmdale, California, was coming north. So I'm facing this way at the gas pump getting gas, and he's heading north. So I see him coming at me with his sirens on, what it looked like to be pulling over another vehicle. So I didn't even trip on it, And the red Mustang that he looked like he was being pulled over, pulled into the Chevron. I think he got spooked, because even people that don't even got issues with the cops are scared to have a sheriff behind them. But he pulled into the Chevron real quick, so I still didn't think about it. I looked in my side mirror, and he was behind me. But again, I'm at the gas pump, so I didn't even think anything of it. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he's pulling another car over. How could he be pulling me over? I'm getting gas. So the people that I had, 2 people that picked up, they went into the store, whatever. I'm getting gas.
So you had 2 people with you?
Well, yeah, I thought it was just gonna be him, but when I got there, there was somebody else, and he's like, "Can we take this fool to the store?"
All right.
Okay. So I was like, okay, but in my mind, why? Because the apartment complex that I picked him up at was literally down the street from the Chevron. Why couldn't he walk? But whatever. So I did, and then he ends up, one of the people that I picked up ends up chopping it up with somebody. I look in my rearview mirror and the sheriff is behind me, but again, I didn't think anything of it because I'm getting gas. How could how could he be behind me? So after I filled up my tank or whatever, the person that I picked up ended up going with the person that he knew in the Chevron that he randomly started chopping it up with, and I was supposed to be taking him somewhere. Or he left the other dude in my truck. So he made a gesture like that. And so I was like, okay.
Who was he calling? The other guy, or?
I'm assuming he was telling us, let's go. Because I needed to give him a ride to Apple Valley to see his baby's mom or whatever. Something of that sort, to see his kids or something. But okay, so why are you taking off with this other dude? So the Palmdale Sheriff's Department, they have a give up 3, go free. And I know that for a fact. They have a give up 3, go free. And
basically what she's saying is, if you tell on 3 people, they'll let you go. Correct?
Or they say.
Right.
Or they say. Okay, so, and I know this for a fact because before all this happened, I know somebody else that this happened to. So he made the gesture to come on, and I looked at my review and I was like, okay, he's still behind me. So the weird thing, number one, him going with somebody that he knew at the Chevron randomly, calling me like this, and the sheriff being behind me. When he pulled up with his lights on, I was getting gas. There's no way. My license plate wasn't even facing him. He wouldn't have been able to see it because where I was in the gas pump. So he stood behind me. I turned on my truck with that random dude in the truck, and we went. And sure enough, he stood behind me, and turned his lights back on, and I didn't pull over because I was already pulled over. I just pulled away from the gas station. So as soon as he got to my window, he's like, all right, I know that you got guns in here or dope in here. And anybody
that's the sheriff deputy saying that.
Kyle Bisline 606065. That's his badge number. And his other partner, which I don't know because it was mainly this dude.
Right.
Who was also on the Gabriel Fernandez case. One of the sheriffs on the Gabriel Fernandez case. That says it right there too. So again, I know you got drugs, or I know you got dope, or I know you got guns. So that's the
first thing he said.
That's the first thing he said when he came to my window.
I know you got guns.
I know you got a gun, or I know you got dope. So we can make this easy. We can make this hard. Just tell me what you got in here, and we'll let that be that. And my truck was an '88 Chevy, and I was getting the electrical done in my truck. Earlier that day, I took out money from U.S. Bank because I also got my tire rods fixed at the Easy Tires on 15th and Ponda Boulevard. So I had like $500 bills, brand new dollar bills from the U.S. Bank with the receipt from the bank. And I had seen a homegirl that I used to kick it with back in the day, and she just looked like crap, like she was still using. And I had got out of rehab the year before. You're
skipping around a little bit.
I was, because there's a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
What about, what did he say after that? Let's stick with the cop real quick. When he said, I know you got guns, I know you got drugs.
Wait, I'm going to tell you because he found dope in my truck.
Oh, okay.
But that's because of the homegirl that I seen that I had gave her a ride, and she forgot her whole makeup bag in my truck. Okay? So that was that. And I knew that the bag was there, but I didn't know how much it was. And so, of course, I'm on probation, so I have no rights. And I guess the dude next to me, he was also on parole, which he also didn't have any rights. So your right to search the seizure, right to your phone, right to whatever. Okay, so I told him, I was like, there's a makeup bag in my truck, but it's not mine. I just got out of rehab, and I've been clean ever since, and I got proof. DCFS has not one dirty test for me since after this happened. After I got out of rehab, not one dirty test for me. All on time tests, everything negative. So whatever. I tell him that the dope is right there, and I already know I'm gonna get busted. He's like, as soon as we get in the car, that's when the questions start happening. Well, what about this? Well,
so now he handcuffed you and you're in the back of the squad car.
Yeah. They're telling me that he's busting me for sales. Okay, which in order to get a sales charge, you have to have a scale and baggies. 2 completo for it to be a sales charge. And he said I had a sales, but I've never seen no scale. I would have no reason to be driving with the scale anyways in the first place. Uh-huh. I don't know if there was a scale in the makeup bag, but I didn't see anything in the evidence on the discovery. So anyways, long story short, so yeah. So as soon as I get in the cop car, that's when the questions start happening. Who do you know? Where are you getting your work from? I believe you. I believe what you're telling me. This is what I'm gonna do for you. If you give me 3 people, then this will all disappear. And everything that I know now, I did not know this then. So I'm like, please, you gotta believe me. Like, let me show you some kind of something. Like, I'm a month away from my DCFS case closing. Remember that. Keep that thought in mind. And a month away from my probation case closing. Okay, and I was good with my probation officer because I was in compliance. I've been in compliance, and I actually had a really good relationship with her. And so I kind of spoke too much, then, and I shouldn't have, but whatever. Now's now. So if you tell me, your DCF case will go away, your probation case will go away. And
so the sheriff's deputy is telling you to tell on someone, to give up the connect, and then he'll make your probation go away and your DCFS case go away.
Right. And I don't know who to tell, because I had already been out the circulation for a minute already, you know? And that's what I was telling him. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I don't know anybody to give you. Like, I don't. And so that was that. And after it became obvious, after thinking about it, you know, him pulling up, the dude that I was with going like this, you know, that dude is super paranoid about phones. And he's never been, from what I know, he had never been busted or never been anything. So
the guy, you're talking about the guy you gave a ride to?
Yeah. So it kind of like, it kind of struck me odd how he would leave with somebody else if I was supposed to be giving him a ride. So I told the cop, why don't you get those two fools that just came out of my car, out of my truck? He goes, who, them? Why do you think we let them go? And the other fool is his dad. So
he's, oh, wait, wow, that's crazy. So why do you think we let them go?
Why do you think we let them go?
What do you think that meant?
I was probably one of the three that he had gave up.
Oh, wow.
That's
And that's why he knew that there's something in the truck already.
Yeah, that's why, that's the only thing that I could think of, you know? So...
You never know, right?
Huh?
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could have been that, or the fact that my DCFS case was a month away from closing. They want my baby as a foster youth, okay? And a month away closing, the supervisor social worker, LaDana Frazier, okay? She lives in Santa Clarita. Jasmine Mitchell, the social worker, also lives in Santa Clarita, was engaged to a Santa Clarita sheriff, okay? And Kyle Beislein, Matthew Kyle Beislein, badge number 606065, also came from the Santa Clarita station.
Is he still a deputy here in Palmdale?
I'm gonna get to that part. I don't think so. He resigned. Supposedly. When I went to court, hold on. Let's fast forward. Hold up. Let's fast forward. Hold up. Okay, so that it could have been the dude. It was probably both. Who knows? Who knows? They're in cahoots with each other. I know that for a fact. The sheriffs and DCFS be setting people up for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've been my son's mom and dad since he was born, you know? And you know, they did my baby dirty. So I was like, why don't you get those two dudes that got out of my truck? He said, why do you think we let them go? I told him, I don't know what the fuck you want me to tell you. You know, I've been out of the limelight, and that's that. So then we get to the station, and he pulls me out of the holding tank. He's like, where did you get those fraud $100 bills? Those $100 bills are not fraud, homie. I had a receipt in my pocket for 500 for it must have been 400, not $600. $400 at the U.S. bank. They were not fraud. You're telling me that the bank sends fraud bills? No. Okay, so that was that. You know, and I was just scared. You know what I'm saying? I had just got my son back after I got out of rehab.
Right, and of course he knew that.
Yeah, of course he knew that.
Baseline, right?
Beislein.
Beislein.
Beisline.
Okay.
Matthew Kyle Beislein. His dad was also a sheriff.
Okay.
Okay.
So he knew that you just got your son back.
He knew that I just got my son back.
Figured you'd be desperate enough to roll on somebody to tell.
Yeah, but there was nobody to tell because I had been out of the circulation. It had been like...
Right.
Maybe like 8 months, I think. I got out of rehab January 10th, 2020. Okay, and this was in August 8th, 2020. So, whatever. I'm going to get cited out because now Gascon's back on the scene. People are getting cited out left and right for all kinds of stuff. Okay? So, whatever. I'm getting dressed, putting my bra on and my fucking shoelaces. And I see a phone number in my property that I didn't have before.
Okay.
Okay? So, I'm like, whose number is this? So I'll dial the number, and I'm like, hello?
And it was him.
It was him.
Wow.
It was him. He's like, I'm going to tell you what. I believe you. I'm going to give you 2 weeks. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to bring me a fish. That's what he called it. To bring me a fish. And if you bring me somebody, then if you bring me 2 fish, then all of this goes away. So I was like, man, fuck you. Boom, and I hung up. Because I already know how they roll. I already know how they conduct themselves. So
he basically had, what, some methamphetamine? He caught you with that?
Yes.
But no scale, no nothing, but he tried to say it was cells.
Yeah. He tried to say that I had an ounce of meth on me. And I don't know how much she had, but it was probably a quarter, like who knows. Okay, so hold on, time out real quick.
Hold on.
Okay, so I just hung up the phone. I was, man, fuck you, dude. And I hung up the phone. And then I went to pick up my son. And my son was like, dang, Mom, I knew you got busted, Mom. I felt it. I felt you got busted because you hadn't called me. You hadn't nothing. So I was like, come on, let's go to Denny's. Went to Denny's. We were chopping it up. Went back home. Went to sleep. And in the morning, I woke up spooked. Because I had called him. I felt like now he had my number. He had my number tapped. And so I immediately went to go get a new phone and a new number. Okay, so the first person that I called was my PO. And I wanted to buy myself some time. So I didn't tell her right away that I had got busted. I just told her that I had changed my number. And this was my new number. Because
you're supposed to, when you're on probation, you're supposed to report, like, hey, I had to run.
There can't be a way that she cannot get a hold of you, you know?
Right.
Otherwise, they'll show up at your pad. And my son was there, so I didn't want none of that.
Right.
None of that going on. Okay, so then I called her. I let her know, and because I felt like this dude was on me, just to buy me time because I got busted for sales. I'm a month away. I didn't want my son. I didn't want them coming in here taking my son. I didn't want them busting me, you know, and being away from my baby. And so I told her it was a false identification. It was a false identification. So remember, Viceline said 2 weeks if I give him somebody, right? Okay, so as the next day, literally August 9th, the next day, when I tell her I got, it's false identification, wrong car, wrong person, she tells me, really? Because it says right here that you got sales and meth and this. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that you could have got busted for this because, I'm clean. I was testing clean. Otherwise, she would have busted me a long time ago. So I was like, oh, I don't know. So telling her that, she got a hold of the watch commander, and she's like, basically, what happened? She's telling me it's a false identification. The report says different. So that was that thing. Eventually, so that was that. Okay. So then that's when I hit you up. That same day, August 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, V, I got pulled over by a cop. They're trying to make me, rat on somebody, and I don't know what to tell them. You were telling me to help you put the fucking Freon in the air conditioner on your truck, remember?
Right.
Okay, so that's when we met up at the O'Reilly's.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if...
Is this the same cop, though, that took your cell phone when you were trying to record?
Yeah, this was after that, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're at the O'Reilly's and just shooting the shit. We were there for like an hour or something, right?
Right.
Okay, so then, I don't know if this cop got my number because I updated it with my PO, or he had a little device called a Stingray that acts as a cell phone network tower. And everybody's cell phones that is within radius of this Stingray, they could get any text, any picture, anything. It don't matter if it's an iPhone, Android, it don't matter. They're getting everything. Okay, so that same day.
Well, they don't even need that anymore.
Yeah.
As long as you have Facebook, TikTok, YouTube and stuff like that, they could get into your phone now.
Yep, all the data.
Like that too.
So that same day, 5:23 p.m. Look at. Oh, August 11th. This is 2 days after. 3 days after. Did you really think you could change your number and not be able to find out?
Remember, we're not putting too much out there.
So then, what
you
you
want
want me to show or what?
Just keep. We don't want them, the sheriff's department, the dirty evil out the ballpark ones.
This is gonna be a rough
trying
draft.
to get their
this is gonna be a rough
stories
draft.
correct.
Okay. So
So
but
what does the top one say? Do you really think you can change your number?
Yeah, do you really think you could change your number and I won't find you? And then, how do you know AV Watchmen? How do you know AV Watchmen? It's okay, DCFS will be coming to your house and now your probation will know that you had 2 pounds after the police report said, according to his expertise, it was an ounce.
So basically, they caught you with a little bit of stuff. You didn't want to give up 3 people. You didn't want to tell on 3 people.
There's
right?
nobody to tell.
And so now this cop is fishing like, well, how do you know me?
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, how does he know that I know you?
Right.
We had met up O'Reilly's that day. I even have my location on in the maps. It shows.
Well, they're constantly monitoring my channel, too. You know that, right?
Then fuck you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're always
For
watching
reals.
my account.
This is the.
And then they got their little spies too. You know,
they're
on YouTube
oh, hell
and
yeah.
they're always spying.
Absolutely. Sheriff Aquino.
Right.
He had a little.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, remember when we were trying to start the Suburban in the desert?
Yeah.
Busted me for some. I don't know what the hell, dude. He gave me a driving on a suspended license and I wasn't even driving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For real.
Okay, so all those things that you got, keep those for the attorney, right? Don't put any of that stuff out right now. The top one's fine. So where do we? Okay, from there now, where are we at now?
Okay, so he's telling me that now DCFS will know that I have 2 pounds when the police report said an ounce. So
did you tell your probation officer any of this stuff or no?
Well, I ended up coming clean after. Oh, so she ended up before I had went to court for this, because I got spooked. Like, the sheriffs can literally make you disappear.
I know you can.
Literally. So I got spooked when after I started getting these crazy messages and he's following me around and everything. I got spooked, so I didn't even go to court. I went on the run for a little bit because, he was trying to make me throw rat on my friend. And
for what?
I was there, fishing. But what do you want him for? Like, well, okay, but what did he do though? Tell me and I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Just like how they do us. Tell me and then I'll tell you.
Right.
Like, okay, so I mean, by him saying that just tells you right there, like, they could change whatever they want on any report, But then it dawned on me, you told me 2 weeks to give you somebody, but you sent in my report anyway, because they're grimy. Cops don't respect snitches either.
Right.
And don't do that. People, don't do that, because then now you're just doing the job for them. You feel me?
Right.
They get paid they get paid for this shit. They could do their job. You feel me?
Right.
So don't do the job for them. Whatever the case is, however it plays out, don't do the cop's job for them. They could do it all themselves. That's what they get paid for. So I was just like, whatever. So as soon as I got that message, that's when I hit you up. That's when you told me to go over. Then that's when I was like, I felt like I was being watched, homie, like straight up.
Right.
Okay, and the second I left your house, he texted me your address. Remember? I was sending you every screenshot.
I
remember that?
I remember.
Okay, so
did he ever go to your house?
He did. He did, because he wanted to meet up with me, and I was at work and shit, homie. Like, fuck this fool. Like, I'm not gonna give him shit anyway, And
it's convenient though. After all this stuff starts happening, now he so-called retires, right? Or
that's when after I went to court. So I go to my house and this punk ass fool, I'm making a right onto R8, and I knew it was him because he blinked me my lights right there, because he told me 7 p.m. to bring me AV. I don't care how you get him, you bring him to me, and I want him by 7 or else this and that and this and that. And I'm just like, fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, so whatever. I was getting off of work, turning onto my street. He's behind me. I make a left to go into the gates, and he turns on his siren, and I pull over, and now I'm hot because both of my kids are right there at my pad, and I'm like, what the fuck you want? Like, why are you showing up to my house and shit? Like, for what? Oh, you didn't signal when you turned in the gate. Man, fuck you, bitch. What's up? What's up? What's going on? What happened to the big fish? And I'm like, what do you want? What do you want me to tell you? I don't know what to tell you. You text me his address when I left. What the fuck you want me to tell you? That's when,
Right.
okay? So whatever, and then
That gang stalking is real by the
yes,
sheriff's
gang
department.
stalking
It's
is
real, everyone.
You don't gotta be from a gang for them to gang stalk.
No,
Gang
you
stalk
don't.
just purely means like
If they don't like
they're following you around. What
Right.
is stalking? What it
They
is
will.
people stalking. They're not out patrolling. They're hunting people.
Exactly.
Just like he told me, I'm not with the special investigations unit for nothing. Why are you on the streets then, homie? Like you're like pulling over people for traffic stops, because they know that 80% of the fucking cars in Palmdale are either riding dirty or on probation, parole. So you have no rights.
Right.
Don't ever take a deal and get on probation. It's a setup. For real, just do your jail time and let that be that.
You see what I mean? And this is why I tell you guys that the sheriff's department, the ones that are out of the ballpark, like way out the ballpark, they've made it damn near impossible for me to do anything because I'm the bad guy. You know, in their eyes, because I'm out here teaching people their constitutional rights, and I'm not scared to expose them for their evil corruption. So what do? They try to build smear campaign cases. Let's find something on him that we could get him for and make him look like shit, because he keeps making us look like shit. At the end of the day, you guys are making yourself look like shit. All I have is a camera. All I can do is point that camera. What you do while that camera's rolling, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different ball game. And you guys know you did some very dirty stuff towards me, including my family. And most of all, what you did, you're responsible for what happened to her son. You got to keep listening to the story, because it's going to get more and more, deeper and deeper. You guys are in a lot of trouble. See, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared to expose that evil, dirty corruption within that sheriff's department. There's some sheriff's deputies that are in that department that might be afraid to speak out and come forward. I'm thinking now that they might actually be doing the right thing now, because I'm noticing a lot of these bad, corrupt, evil deputies are starting to get either fired or they're resigning, one of the two. So yeah, we're gonna get back to her story right now. Just wanted to talk to you real quick.